Kush's movie review.
Yes, welcome to Kush's movie review. This week's movie is Wicked, the story of a green witch, which was played by a black woman, and the internet exploded because how dare there be I was going to try to do a funny, but that's still annoying. I know we've discussed it before. It still
Mhm.
annoys me.
Yeah, I think that's
Like,
fair.
fuck, the carrot is green. Who the fuck cares? Well, anyway, doesn't matter.
We'll get into
Um,
that in a little bit again too.
my wife is very excited about this movie, so I'm probably
Hmm.
going to be seeing this very soon. But obviously, based off the Broadway show, based off of a spin-off of The Wizard of Oz, if I'm
Hmm.
correct.
You're correct. Correctish.
Marvelous.
Correctish. We'll get into
Correctish.
all those deets.
I'll,
I'll break it
I'll
down.
stick with
I'll break it down.
correctish, and I'll end on a high, and I'll hand it over to you. How's Wicked, Kush?
So we're talking about the movie Wicked. It is PG. It is 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh,
It's a long one, folks. I ain't gonna hold front. We'll get a little bit more into that in a second here. By the way, this is Wicked parentheses part one of two.
fuck you.
I wish you could. Anyway,
2 hours and 40 minutes, and it's only part one.
only part one. Only part one.
Jeez.
We'll get back into that
Was this
again.
Lord of the Rings?
Kind of, actually. Directed by John M. Chu. If you're familiar with that name, well, he did Crazy Rich Asians and last year's In the Heights. And then you might remember he did G.I. Joe Retaliation early in his career. But he was also doing like the Step Up sequels. So he did Step Up 2, The Streets, and then Step Up 3D, which I actually genuinely regret missing in the theater because they did it in 3D. And I was like, this looks like the best 3D ever. And I wish I had some mushrooms to watch this and could not achieve either. Anyway, uh, this is written by Dana Fox, who adapted it from the musical by Winnie Holzman, who adapted it from the book from 1995, Gregory Maguire. I think I said that right. If I didn't, whatever. Sorry, Greg. Um, this book was already controversial in 1995. That was a prequel before we started using that term with the Star Wars properties. And they were just like, what if we told the story about the Wicked Witch of the West? And some people were like, that's an interesting idea. And other people were like, this is heresy. And it sold a lot of books. And then, of course, became a musical. And then, of course, became a movie. So good on you, buddy. Uh, this stars phenomenally talented Cynthia Erivo. I first saw her in a movie called Widows, which was not a good movie and was based off of a UK property that spawned 3 different series. It was a made-for-TV miniseries that did so well, it got a second and a third. And I don't know. After seeing that movie, I'd actually like to go back and watch the original because I think it was probably just better. For some reason longer, but better. Anyway, uh, she was also in a little movie called Bad Times at the El Royale, which was pretty much like, you ever go to a model shop and buy a kit, like, or just even see one, you're like, oh, you can put a car, you turn this into a car. This was the guy who produced the Daredevil Netflix series went like, oh, you know what? I want to make a Quentin Tarantino movie, and
bold.
Bad Times at the El Royale was the result. It's a fun little movie. Nobody saw it, but the first time I heard Cynthia Erivo sing was in this movie, and I've been a fan ever since. So she plays the Wicked Witch of the West, and her name is Elphaba, not Alphaba, Elphaba with an EL, not an AL. Pop star and former child celebrity Ariana Grande is in this, and she plays Glenda, the Good Witch. And this is, the origin story of how these two chicks met. Jeff Goldblum plays the wonderful Wizard of Oz, and then Michelle Yeoh plays a witch who's not letting everybody in on the secret. She's got some secrets. Shh. Um, Not a musical guy. You know, I definitely don't like very long movies. And while I'm not familiar with Ariana Grande, she's the best part of this movie. She's got very physical comedy timing. She's sings the shit out of everything. Fantastic. Cynthia Erivo steals the show, leaves us hanging and wanting more after 2 hours and 40 minutes to the point where it's like, This was the showstopper. You had to stop the movie now. Again, I want more. I only want more. 2 hours and 40 minutes seems like a long time. Didn't feel it. Did check my watch just so I go like, how much more is left in this? I don't know. Um, as we discussed, this is how the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch met. They are apparently roommates in high school, and they get into some adventures. And you know what? We explore themes of racism and fascism and
What?
all sorts of little isms and about discrimination. Um, we are talking about a world where humanoids, because they're not human beings, um, are being instructed by talking goat creatures. One of them is voiced by Peter Dinklage, by the way, which I was shocked to find out he was the CGI goat. Honestly, the entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, when does Peter Dinklage and the Lollipop Guild show up? Like, it only makes sense that's why my brain would go there. No, he is a talking goat. Anyway, in this world where people aren't human beings and we got talking barnyard animals teaching them in school, for some reason, people are wearing stupid haircuts and they got this and that, like the Elphaba's sister is a cripple in a wheelchair, and she is more popular than Elphaba because Elphaba's skin is green. That's it. It's the weirdest, just like kick in the ass. You're just like, really? Like everybody here looks weird. So all these black and Asian people just getting along together, and everybody's making a fuss about the green chick. I don't get it. Why is Elphaba green? You might ask. Her dad's not green. Her mom is black, and well, one night dad went out for business opportunities, and
No.
mom brought home a gentleman whose face remains in shadow the entire time, but they have a sexy little song number, and it's Jeff Goldblum. Like, we never see his face, but it's Jeff Goldblum's fucking voice. Like, I don't know why this is supposed to be a reveal. It's the first 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, oh, so Jeff Goldblum was her dad? Huh, fascinating. I still don't know why she's green, but that is the thing, is her dad is not her dad. Her dad's actually the wizard. Don't tell anybody I said that.
Wait, did I miss that from the original movie?
That's not in the original Wizard of
Okay.
Oz, or the one with what's her name from 1939.
Judy Garland, whatever her name
Julie
is.
Garland. Thank you. So I don't know why
Thank
I
you.
blanked on that, but yeah, that's, or if
I'm actually
that's in the
impressed I
book, it
knew that
doesn't come
straight
up.
away. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, well, the Wizard of Oz is a fantastic movie. Dude, you and I have again casually talking about this on the Waffle Box on and off since we saw the ad for it at Super Bowl 58. I was just like, this thing looks fucking amazing. It surely can't live up to the hype. In my opinion, dude, my review for this is believe the hype out of 5. Like, it's not even a number. It's believe
Oh,
the hype out of
that
5.
might be the second time you've done that. To
I
believe
think
the
the
hype
first
out
time I
of
did it
5.
was Barbie.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I did that with Barbie. So, um, normally that's reserved for a movie that I miss in theaters and then end up seeing like a month down the line. But like, this thing was literally hyped up so goddamn much, dude. We did a story a few weeks ago about a discrepancy on the toy box of a bad URL. 5 fucking commercials before we even got to the trailer, to the point where I was just like, geez, I wonder when Wicked's coming out. Like, we're in the theater, we're here, we're watching Wicked, but you got Cynthia Erivo singing in a Target, and the Dunkin' Donuts guys or the M&Ms, for some reason, my Android phone and my iPhone are doing Wicked scenes. Like, it's very hyped up. Fucking love the hell of this movie. I might go back and see it in 3D if I can. I think 4DX might actually be a fun ride, honestly. I'm hit or miss with that. It's either fantastic or it's just the most violent time, and I hate it. But I genuinely love this movie. John M. Chu, like I said, there's a CGI goat here, so there's CGI in it, but John M. Chu went out of his fucking way to make everything as practical and physical as possible. Normally when you do a musical also, like, the actors are just lip syncing to a track that they can hear in the background, and then they fix it in post and all that shit. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are belting it. they're swinging for the fences live as they're filming. And by the way, this isn't like one cut. Like there's multiple cuts and multiple angles. And so these chicks sung the same song for days at a time. Like not even hours at a time, like days at a time till the shot was correct. I don't know what they're gonna do in part two. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but again, it leaves on a cliffhanger. There's a to be continued, and with all the substance that we just talked about, with the discrimination and the green skin and the infidelity and the this and the that and the other, I'm just like, why do I foresee some bullshit like epic ass CGI war where the flying monkeys are taking on the talking barnyard animals? As Galinda and Elphaba are just flying around. Like, why do I see that happening? Because I don't know what they do with this. I've never read the book. I've never read the musical. I understand they have some new songs for this. I couldn't point any of them out to you, but that's what I've heard. However, I think this thing is going to be a big contender for a lot of little gold trophies in February. I'm positive we're going to get a best picture out of it. Or at least nomination wise. I'm positive you're going to see a couple multiple best actresses, supporting and main, set design, costumes, makeup, hair. I think that's all getting nominations, except for the music category, because that's only original music. Whatever original music in here that I couldn't identify, no. The showstopper, that thing fucking blew me away. Like you hear it in all the goddamn trailers. It's a passionate fucking scene. And it's not an original song anymore. It's been adapted so many times, so it will not. That is the only thing they will not get an Oscar nomination for, is best music. The gentleman next to me, when credits started rolling, he's in a wheelchair, and I guess he's got some issues. I ain't trying to shame him, but my man was just bawling his eyes out. Like this affected a lot of people. Only negative comments I've heard.
Fuck's sake, is this only part one? I gotta sit through another 2 hours and 40 minutes of this.
I gotta wait 365 days just to sit for another 2.5 hours in my wheelchair. I've only heard 2 negative reviews about this. One was from my man Kai, who's a self-confirmed theater nerd, who surprisingly has never seen the theatrical production of this. But he was just like texting me during the show, which, by the way, super fucking rude. But he's like, "This is so boring." I was like, "Really? This is wild news to me." And then another friend of mine, her 11-year-old daughter, was just like, "There's way too much goddamn singing." And I was just like, "You went to a musical, little girl, but okay." Yeah. So, but again, I love the hell out of it. Thinking of possibly seeing it again. Maybe not. I don't know. But believe the hype out of 5.
Believe the hype out of 5. More Wicked in theaters now, or when we release this. If you're watching this on demand next year around Oscar season, then
this is a Universal show, so it'll be on Xfinity or Peacock when it does do the streaming gimmick.
Marvelous. So check it out. Wicked, starring Ariana Grande and other people that I can't remember.
Cynthia Erivo.
Both.
Yeah.
Great voices.
That name. She's amazing. Fucking love that woman.
Check it out.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.